There's probably only a small handful of elite football players that have gone on to become elite football coaches after retiring from the game, and this makes complete sense. After all, teaching in itself is quite a difficult task. Simply being good at the thing you're trying to teach isn't always enough to make you good at imparting that knowledge onto others. Having said all of this, one person in particular who managed to master both aspects of the game is none other than Johan Cruyff. And while he was absolutely phenomenal at what he did and his contribution to football as a whole cannot be understated, he is not the subject of this video. Instead, today we will be focusing on the playing career of probably his most successful student, Pep Guardiola. In his short managerial career, he's conquered almost all of Europe. However, it's his playing career that's piqued my interest lately. So with all that being said, how good was Pep Guardiola as a player, really? What's up everyone, hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. And before we get things started, I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone that's supported the channel so far. I really didn't expect it to grow as quickly as it has. You can expect more of the same great content coming up soon, and yeah, let's get back to the video. In this video, we'll be taking a brief look at the playing career of one of the best football managers of the past decade and quite possibly of all time, Pep Guardiola. Born in 1971, Pep Guardiola was born and bred in Barcelona. He was the third born in a family of 4 children, having had 2 older sisters and 1 younger brother. In his youth, he was known within his community as a football fanatic, so much so that he would often spend hours playing football in a field close to his home. His love for the game saw him join the Barcelona youth academy, La Masia, in 1984 at 13 years of age. In addition to this, he also became a ball boy for the Catalan club early in his childhood. If you needed any further proof of his long-standing ties with Barcelona, here is a snap of Pep celebrating Barcelona's Copa del Rey victory in 1986. In this photo, he is celebrating alongside the Barcelona manager at the time, Terry Venables. Between the ages of 13 and 19, Guardiola spent his time in La Masia improving and honing his overall ability. At youth level, his overall football intelligence allowed him to play in several positions and be quite effective too, although he didn't really fall into a specialized position until he was roughly 16 years of age in 1987. However, this was no coincidence. As fate would have it, 1987 was also the same year that Johan Cruyff took over as the manager of Barcelona. As the story goes, in Cruyff's first season as the manager, only days after he had joined the club, he turned up to a youth team match unannounced. At halftime, he made his way to the youth coach at the time and inquired about the young Spaniard playing in the right midfield position. Cruyff suggested that he be moved into a more central position as a defensive midfielder. In case you haven't guessed by now, that boy Cruyff was referring to was Pep Guardiola himself. Now, as many of you may know, the defensive midfield position is one of the most difficult positions to master, as it requires an extremely high football IQ and an equal amount of technical ability. Even further to that, this position, also known as the pivot, was hardly used in Spanish football at the time. Despite all of this, Guardiola adapted to it almost immediately and was played in this position for just about the remainder of his playing career. In the remainder of his youth career, he went from strength to strength. He was never the most physically dominant or fastest players on the pitch, but he possessed a great passing range, ball control, and a brilliant football mind. Fast forward to 1990. By now, Cruyff had fully ingrained his tactical philosophy into Barcelona. Without going too much into it, this was a philosophy known as total football. Although Cruyff popularized this system, it actually has Austrian origins that date back to the 1930s. Total football is a possession-based, attack-minded system that is characterized by a high offside line and players interchanging positions freely to maintain the team structure. This system often employs a 4-3-3 formation with one designated defensive midfielder as the most central midfielder of the 3. Guardiola was essentially slotted straight into the defensive midfielder position and made his debut for the Barcelona senior team in the 1990-1991 La Liga season. However, he was only fully integrated into the first team from the beginning of the 1991-1992 season. In the same period, Barcelona and Cruyff had completely restructured the first team and brought in star signings such as Michael Laudrup, Hristo Stoichkov, Ronald Koeman, and Romario, to name a few. These players, in addition to a few others, came to be known as the Dream Team, and for good reason too. Between 1991 and 1994, they won 4 back-to-back La Liga titles, 3 Spanish Super Cups, as well as the UEFA Super Cup. However, the most significant trophy of them all was the UEFA Champions League win in 1992. This competition was known as the European Cup back then. The reason this win was so significant is because this was actually Barcelona's first ever European Cup win in the entire history of the club. Now, 1992 may sound like it was a long time ago, but considering the fact that Real Madrid's first European Cup win was all the way back in 1955 really makes you realize how recent this actually was. The fact that Barcelona have won this competition 4 times since then, and have also been the most successful Spanish team since then, probably discounts how great of an achievement this was at the time. And by the way, this European Cup win was in Pep Guardiola's first ever season in the first team, at just 20 years of age. He played in every European Cup match, as well as 26 of the 38 La Liga matches. Safe to say, this was an absolutely incredible start to his young career. In the years that followed this season, Barcelona went on to have the most successful period in the club's history at the time. Under Cruyff, they won 11 titles in total, making him Barcelona's most successful manager in history at that point in time. Fun fact, this record was eventually surpassed by none other than Pep Guardiola, who won 15 trophies as the Barcelona manager between 2008 and 2012. Unfortunately, Cruyff left the club in 1996 after falling out with the Barcelona president at the time, Josep Luis Núñez. The effect that he had on Guardiola is immense, to say the least. The notion of total football is something that he has continued to teach throughout his own managerial career. When speaking on the impact that Cruyff had on Barcelona, Guardiola once said, "Cruyff built the cathedral. Our job is to maintain and renovate it." And maintain it they did. Following his departure, Sir Bobby Robson took over as the new Barcelona manager. This season saw Barcelona win an incredible cup treble, including the Copa del Rey, the European Cup Winners' Cup, and the Spanish Super Cup. This season also saw the arrival of marquee signings such as Luis Figo and Ronaldo Fenomeno. Guardiola made an astounding 58 appearances this season, playing every league match and almost every cup match too. After Robson moved into a more senior general manager role in 1997, Louis van Gaal was appointed as the new Barcelona manager for the 1997-1998 season. In this season, Barcelona won the league title once more. This season also saw Guardiola being given the Barcelona captaincy at the age of 26. Unfortunately, he suffered a calf muscle injury which saw him sidelined for the majority of the season. However, he was right back in action in the 98-99 season, in which Barcelona picked up their second La Liga title in as many years, winning back-to-back titles for the second time within a 5-year period. However, the following 2 years were less than ideal for Pep Guardiola. Between 1999 and 2001, he was plagued by both his previous lingering calf injury as well as an ankle injury. The combination of these injuries saw him miss a substantial amount of games. In addition to this, Barcelona failed to win any silverware in this entire period. Eventually, on the 11th of April 2001, Guardiola announced that he would be leaving Barcelona after a 17-year stint with the club in which he won 16 trophies in total as a player. Ironically, upon leaving the club, he mentioned that part of why he was doing so was that he perceived that football was heading towards a point where more physical players and tactics were favoured. Now, this is quite a funny statement, as the Barcelona side that he achieved so much success with as a manager was composed of almost no physically dominant players at all. Players such as Messi, Xavi and Iniesta relied almost entirely on their technical ability and game intelligence to one-up the opposition. Moving along, following his departure from Barcelona, Guardiola truly entered the back end of his career. He went on to spend 3 years in Italy, where he played first for Brescia and then for Roma. Due to injuries, he only made 28 appearances in the 3 seasons that he played in Serie A. He then spent 2 years in the Qatar Premier League with Al Ahly and followed that up with a 1-year stint in the Mexican Primera Division with Dorados de Sinaloa. As we are all aware, following his playing career, Pep Guardiola has gone on to become one of the most successful managers of all time. At the time of posting this video, he's won 30 trophies as a manager, easily overshadowing his trophy haul as a player. He's coached in Spain, Germany and England and has shown no signs of slowing down anytime soon. In closing, it's not too far of a stretch to label Guardiola as one of the most important players in Barcelona's history. He may not have been the most physically gifted player around. However, his football mind and overall ability allowed him to play a crucial role in the Barcelona team that essentially kick-started the winning mentality that the club exhibits today. He's adopted Cruyff's footballing philosophy and indoctrinated it into a whole new generation of players. In truth, Guardiola was already regarded as an icon when he hung up his playing boots, but it's probably safe to say that by the time he hangs up his managerial coat, he'll be regarded as one of the most successful and influential football personalities in history. And there we have it. I'd be interested to hear what all of your opinions are of Guardiola, not only as a player but also as a manager. As per usual, all the sources for the information used in this video can be found on my website, footballiconic.com. The link can be found in the description. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, and if you like the content, why not consider checking out my channel and maybe even subscribing? But no pressure, of course. Anyway, that's me. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one.